Hey rats, you ready for a Ratatouille check? Because I am. And today I'm hopefully going to help you with this Ratatouille check. Exit a funk. Whatever you want to call it. Leaving eclipse season. We're leaving a Mercury retrograde today. I Googled it. It should be ending today, April 25th. GTFO to all the bad vibes. So I thought we could go over together some ways to exit a bad vibe, some toxic ways to exit a bad vibe, some good ways to exit a bad vibe. I wish Rachel was here. She would give us like proper ways to exit a bad vibe. Let's just deep dive, but let me get the elephant out of the room here. Yes, I am that girl that is getting into astrology. No, when I say I'm getting into astrology. I'm not studying it, but is it a thing? If you ask me, I think it is. Okay, I'm sorry, I think it is. I think it is. I just do. There's weird stuff, okay? Everyone having a shit time. There's no one in my life right now not having a shit ass time through eclipse season or this Mercury retrograde. Just so you know, those are hard times to exist according to astrology. You'd have to look up for more information, like to get better information on that. That's the information I can provide you on that. Those are bad times, okay? And we're out of them, so let's celebrate, but you might need help dusting some of the bad vibes off. Now, I've said this before, I am a Libra. I agree with the Libra thing, but for the longest time I was like, I don't agree with like all the Libra things. And then that's because you also have other shit. You have like a moon sign, a sun sign, a rising sign, you've got a Pluto or Uranus, you've got a Saturn, you've got a lot of shit, okay, that makes you the person you are. And so when you dive into that, it's like, it's kind of giving correct, okay? Like, for example, like some things just add up. I'm just old now and like I've heard enough stuff and it's adding up and I'm like, it's not wrong though, is it, right? Like, so I am, oh boy, it's hard to remember. I'm not perfect at this. So I'm a Libra. That's my main sign. Like is that the sun sign that everyone like says out loud? I think so, right? So my sun sign is like Libra. My moon sign is Aquarius, and my rising sign is Taurus. And that tells you everything you need to know about me, I guess. Things I relate to with the Libra, definitely like the scale. I really like equality for all. When things aren't equal and I'm in a room or a setting or a work setting where things aren't equal, I'm very uncomfortable and I will need to balance the scale. Like if someone's the underdog, I'm gonna be like, no. Can't leave that person behind. That's not okay with me. Like that stuff really bothers me. Even if I like don't like that person, like even if the underdog was like a POS, I'd be like, well, I'm feeling bad here. So totally with that, with like rules and stuff, I like everything to be even on the table. If my friend Nick was here, she would probably say the other thing that if you're a Libra, you can't say this yourself, but have I gotten a weird amount of like attention in my life? Yes. Apparently we're a very attractive sign, not physically, but like our personality, I guess is just flirty or something. I know it sounds like, oh, you were probably a flirt. Good God, no. Do you know nothing about me? I don't really like humans. I like the rats. I don't like humans. I like to be a fly on the wall. I like to go under the radar, and I like the rats of society, the grounded rats. That's where I want to hang out. So that's the Libra in me. Aquarius, that makes sense for me because like Aquarius I guess are like the creative sign. Hello. I love to be creative. I love my pottery, my acting, my comedy. I love singing. I love everything creative. I love crafting. I love DIYs. Love. And then the Taurus as my rising sign, I think that's why I'm so like homebody. Apparently Tauruses are like big homebodies, so like that tracks. And I think they can be like a little stubborn, like the bull or whatever. So yeah, I like to put my foot down from time to time. Anyways, they just kind of like add up and it's like, yeah, those are elements of my personality, except for the flirty like Libra thing. I always used to reject that, but now when I'm older and I look back at that time period in my life, I'm like, that was weird. That was weird. And it was my friend Nick who pointed it out to me because she was like, this is very weird. Like you're like, but she says, I wish Nick was here to back me up on this because I just sound like an asshole right now. But she says she has another Libra friend and it was very much the same experience. And she says, she jokes that she was like cursed to be friends with like Libras who had all these people around them like liking them. It was so, isn't it cute to like someone? Is anyone listening the age where you still like people? That's so cute. Moving on from that embarrassing fact, anyways, star signs I think like are real. Like when I look at Zach's sign, for example, so he's a Capricorn, my sister's a Capricorn. They're so similar in so many ways. I think that's why it was so easy for me to fall in love with Zach, because like a big part of him was exactly like my little twin. You know, as I was like, I get you, I get your energy like completely. And I don't know, like I think that's a thing, because actually our signs are supposed to be very uncompatible, like not very compatible, because the Capricorn can like crush the Libra spirit apparently. So like the Libra's like, la la la, I'm a little air sign, everything's happy and dandelions and pretty. And then the Capricorn can be like, no, it's not, here's the logic. And that is very much Zach and I. It literally is like logic and yay fairies. And apparently in some situations that the Capricorn can like crush the Libra with that. But I grew up with a Capricorn, so I just understood someone being super logical, and I knew they could still be like a good time human. So I don't know, I think that's why like we've been good. And then I remember this site also saying that the one place the Capricorn and the Libra have the best results though is in trust. And I would say that Zach and I are like so, I have never doubted that man's actions. That man has never doubted my actions. Not friggin' once. And we did long distance for 2 years at 2 different points in the relationship. And it was like easy peasy, because it's like, I trust you, you trust me. He lived with girls. I remember my friends sitting down at the table when I said, yeah, he's gonna move in with 3 girls. They were like, oh my God, I would never let my boyfriend blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not worried one single bit, okay? So yeah, that's been pretty accurate. But then Zach's rising sign, I think it is his rising sign. Yeah, he's Capricorn, which makes sense because he's so logical, I think. And then his rising sign though is Leo. And I'm like, now you make sense, because the one place where Zach and Lauren are extremely different is Zach is so social and Lauren is not. She's like me, she's a rat, we're rats. Like Zach is not a rat, he's a golden retriever, social boy. And when I saw the Leo in his chart, I was like, there it is. There it is. Thriving with others, charging your energy with others. Anyways, have I lost everyone? Like, are we still listening to this podcast? People who don't like astrology are like, I can't. And I get that, I really do. But like, I don't know, when you dive in, okay? So then I start getting into the planets and the moon and like how on a full moon, like things are crazy. And there's different types of full moon and seasons and retrogrades and Saturn returns. Like all that shit is crazy, okay? I just survived eclipse season, which I mentioned was hard, Mercury retrograde that ended today, and I believe the final like shitstorm of my Saturn return. Which you don't know what your Saturn return is when Saturn's in the exact same place in your chart as when you were born. Sorry, sometimes I get emails while we're because I do it on my phone and I see emails come in. Anyways, it's in the exact same place as your Saturn return. And so basically it like brings you these huge like life lessons you need for like the next chapter of your life. And it tends to be a very challenging time in everyone's life. And that's your Saturn return. And it comes somewhere in between age 27 and like 29, I think, maybe 30. I'm 29. And she's been Saturn returning, okay? Shit's been really hard, as I've mentioned a lot lately, but I'm ready to leave it behind, and that's what this episode is about once I get through the meandering through, like, running you through, like, the planets and the star signs. But a lot of singers actually sing about their Saturn return or Mercury retrograde, so what can you do to officially exit a funk or a bad time in your life? Let me tell you, I got lots of ideas because I've been so many bad times. I know exactly how to dig out, and sometimes you can't until you're ready. So if it's feeling impossible, it's because you're not ready yet, and I totally get that. But I don't think you should shy away from trying some of these things, because even if it could make it like a little bit better right now, why not? Like, why not make life like just like a little bit easier, you know? Now, in order to do this, we need to talk about the universe, okay? The universe is universing, and she's doing her thing at all times, okay? She's listening to you. She's sending you shit. She's there waiting for you to either open your eyes to her, talk to her, ask for signs, all these lovely interactions you can have with the universe, because essentially we're all just like riding the wave, right? Like your life is gonna move forward no matter what, even when shit hits the fan. And there are like little things you can ask for. Like you could ask the universe for a sign. Okay. I don't know much about any of this stuff. I listened to one book where it was it The Universe Has Your Back or something like that? I think it was like that book. I liked it, but it's like a little cringy to listen to. But I was in a bad time and it was helpful. So I'll just shout that out, even though, you know. But yeah, asking for signs from your angels, and if you guys have angel numbers or angels, like you can ask them to show you things, which is like kind of cool. It's like, if I'm on the right track, show me a cardinal. You know what I mean? You can work off those signs. Now, that's like a harder, longer journey that I actually can't like get into with you right now because I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying, tap into the universe. Because what I do want to say is like, sometimes I think we need to signal to the universe like, hey, I'm done with the shit. I'm done with things being bad. Sometimes you need to let them know, hey, slow down. I'm freaking out. What are you trying to say to me? Because if you don't believe in, I don't know, like I don't know what to call my sense of understanding of the world that we are in the sense, right? Some people call it God, some people call it the universe, some people call it a million other things, okay? Whatever works for you, all right? For me, at this stage of my life, I refer to the universe. You don't have to refer to anyone, even if it's just like telling yourself, hey self, we gotta chill out, we gotta reset, you gotta get a handle on this. That works too. So there's many ways you can just call it out, but my point is you gotta call it out sometimes. And so to show them, like the other day, literally yesterday, I invited my friend Margaret over, my friend Noor, who are also having a really bad time right now. And I was like, guys, we're gonna bake a good luck cake. And we're gonna write on it some inspirational words. We're gonna draw a little symbol on it, and we're gonna eat that mother effing cake to show the world, to show the universe, to show ourselves we're closing the shitty chapter. These things might be placebo, but my goodness, are they effective? And I invented that. There's no such thing as a good luck cake as far as I know. That was all just baloney. That's just all me thinking I want some sort of cute girly pop action to signal to the world that I am moving on from being in the dumpster. Okay? And I'm headed to the sunshine. This rat's moving on. Margaret and Noor loved it. Like they both said to me, like, that was so fun, so positive, and it's so easy. Okay, baking a cake with your friends, like how fun is that, period? And then to like write inspirational words on it, things you're manifesting, hello, adorable. That's always gonna be good vibes. And I think there is an element of signaling to the universe. There's something powerful in like tying words to actions. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely not the first to say that. I think that's why you meditate, right? Like you make the humming noise and it's like a physical, don't quote me. So what? You know what I mean? I'm like, this is like the rat version of like all of this information. But if any of it piques your interest, go find people who are actually experts, right? Like that's why working out works for people, because like moving your body can like free up mental space. So when you combo positive mental thoughts with something physical, good things happen. So on that note, some other things you can do. Journaling, always helpful to people. But as Rachel said, not everyone likes to journal. So baking a cake might be better to you, you know? But even when you journal, like just know it doesn't have to be like creative or a masterpiece. It can literally be like jot notes, one word, tear it up, burn it safely. Like it doesn't have to be, you know, like a really long like homework assignment if you don't want it to be. But again, that's just doing something physical with those thoughts inside your head. Other things you can do, go out into nature. Hopefully you can find like a nice secluded spot in nature that's like safe to go to, and like talk to yourself, your angels, the universe, your past self, your future self, your inner have a weird ass little moment out in a forest. All of this sounds insane, but when you are someone like me who's gone through a lot of shit, can't always afford therapy, these are the things we got to be doing. It doesn't just magically, pain and hurt and drama and trauma don't just leave your body one day. Like, yeah, time heals all, but there's some things that time only numbs. Like my issues with like my diabetes diagnosis, no amount of time is gonna fully heal that wound. And I don't even mean that in a medical sense. Like, yes, there's no cure to this disease, but like what that did to me, just trauma-wise, is always gonna be there. So letting it out in these like healthy ways, more ideal, I would think. I still recommend therapy. I'm just noting that therapy is expensive. Traveling always makes me feel better, but again, expensive. But even like a small trip, like go to the town, one town over, just see a different environment. Sometimes escaping your environment helps show you how small your environment is and how you just really don't need to be scared of that small little environment. Like when you get to like bird's eye view it, you get to step out of it, see a different environment and be like, wow, like life is going on here, and life's going on in that little place I was also in, and life in the world is so big. Sometimes making things small is just so helpful. That's why every time I go to my parents' house, they live on the ocean, I love sitting in front of the ocean. I love feeling small. I love standing beside something 1,000,000,000 times more powerful and important than me. That helps me so much. Now, again, not everyone can do that, but you can go out into like the forest and like talk to a tree. Sounds so insane, probably super liberating. Have you ever done that? I talk to birds, truth be told, right? I love cardinals. Cardinals are like one of my little signs. And when I see them and I'm in a bad place, I'll be like, thank you, angels, or like, I see you, or keep guiding me. I say like little positive things out loud. Because I am insane, but we already knew that, right? Like you're not entering this podcast. I don't know why I worry about it. You know what you're walking into. You know you're talking to someone with an interesting brain. So we're good. But yes, I talk to birds. I don't think they're going to talk back to me if you're worried. It's just healthy for me to believe that they're a positive sign in my life. Same with angel numbers. 111, love that angel number. When I see it sometimes, I think of my grandma, or I'll say like, thanks for watching out for us, or like, keep looking out for me. It's like a little prayer, quote unquote, but it's not, you know? But they're like these weird positive things, and I think the world is so hard. We do need to come up with our own little weird positive things, our own little cheat codes of like, this is how I'm gonna survive this shit. And nobody needs to know about them, okay? You can go do it alone and nobody needs to know. But if it's helpful, it's totally worth doing. Talking to yourself in the mirror has been a super helpful tool for me. That's a well-known one. I think like Dove campaigns have like, Aerie has like the notes on the mirror in the change rooms, like, you're beautiful, blah, blah. Super powerful. When you do it, here's the key. You need to like first look at yourself and wait, and look at yourself right in the eyes. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sound so wild to a lot of people, but it's okay. Because what I'm about to say is, if you wait long enough looking into your eyes, that perception of the mirror like kind of falls away, and then you're really able to like look into your own soul. That makes sense. Like, have you ever looked into the black of the pupils of your eyes and just waited? Sometimes something really weird can happen where you're like extremely present with yourself. And that is a great time to then manifest or say, hey, we're done. We're cutting these patterns. We're stopping this toxic cycle, or positive things like, you are beautiful, you are awesome. It's insanely powerful. I'm not even pulling your leg. Like, it's crazy powerful. But try to take a minute till you get present and you get grounded to do it. Cleansing your space can also be really powerful, like, and especially when you do it with intention. Like, I know there's a couple times in my life where I've purposely gotten rid of an item or destroyed an item or like ripped up an item or thrown out an item with the purposeful intent of like letting go of the thing that thing represented. So let's say you have a pair of jeans that don't fit anymore. They're like your high school jeans. You don't have your high school body anymore. Instead of just like donating them, take a second to say, I'm letting go of this because I'm accepting the body I currently have. Then get rid of them. Like, try to turn it into a positive exercise sometimes. Like, be like intentional with it. Like, I'm actually, when I let go of these jeans, I'm letting go of that idea that this current body I'm in isn't as good as my high school body. Let's let that go, you know? I had some very negative pages in a diary, and I had kept them even though I knew they were really negative, and I didn't like opening that diary because I didn't like want to see those pages, until one day I realized, why don't I just rip these out? It's not like I'll ever forget that trauma. Like, you know, it's like, that'll be in me. I don't need it to exist in a physical sense in a book that is near me. It's almost like it was like too much. It's like, why don't I tear these up, set them on fire? I went on a walk and I buried them. It was just paper. I think that's biodegradable, I would hope. Either way, make sure you're not like toxicking the earth when you go do these things or burning down your apartment. But sometimes little things like that, just to like physically free yourself from something, can be super effective, which is why I think a lot of people do tend to like write on paper and then burn it directly after, so that you can put something that's negative into something to then destroy it. Super powerful. Another cool one I learned from a psychic. She was a really awesome psychic. I went when I was like 23, and she's actually the one that was like, I think you have celiac disease, and she was correct, which was crazy. Because even doctors couldn't figure that out. And she really changed my life with that one. But she said I should have a bath. She said to put salt in it. I don't know that you have to if you don't want to get too into these things, but if you do, maybe Google the reasons why you would. I can't really repeat them because I don't really remember that part. But an exercise I've kept from this is what she said is, stay in it as you let the water run out. And as the water runs out, think of it as literally cleaning and leaving you. So like all the toxic is actually like leaving your body and going down the drain, and you sit there until all the water's out. It's actually really cool. A really awesome visual that's like physical and like doable and free. Like you can feel your, you just watch it run off of you when you're done your bath, and it goes down the drain. Kind of powerful, kind of slay. Let's end off on some nice quotes, because we've talked about it. Sometimes quotes are helpful, and it's okay for a quote to be helpful, or a mantra, or a word. Sometimes that can just be so powerful. Maybe that's all you need right now, just like a good word. Oh, Rosie wants outside. So some quotes. Rachel said one that I always forget I love, but I now remember it because Rachel reminded me of it. But it's, you have gotten yourself through all of the challenges you've ever faced. It's like, that's just a really slay fact, okay? You are so powerful. You have literally gotten yourself through all the hard stuff before, meaning you can do it. You can do it again. You can do it all. I love a sentence with like deserve. So like, I deserve miracles. I am worthy. I deserve miracles. Great, great mantra. Bonus points if you play the Princess Diaries like soundtrack, like miracles happen once in a while. Honestly, wake up to that song, dance to that song in the morning, change your life, change your life. But even just playing it while you brush your teeth, miracles, let's go, let's go. Some popular mantras like involve the word magnet. So like, I am a magnet for money. So basically like, I attract everything good. Like attract is another one. So it's like, I am worthy. I attract everything that is meant for me and good for me. Or I attract my dream. I am a magnet for my dream. Stuff like that. I also personally try to be really intentional with the words I choose. Like, take a second until you really find that word of like, what do I need to like manifest right now or become right now? Like the other day when we made the cake, I took some time to like think of my word, because at first I wanted to put successful, and I was like, well, it's more than that. And who's to say I'm not successful now? Like, that's just not the right word. So then I asked myself, okay, what do you need to be successful? And that's how I came up with the word strong. So on the cake that we made, I put strength, because I need strength right now to like trust myself, to believe in myself, to push forward, to get through this hard time. And that was just like a more effective word that kind of lit me up. Whereas like success or money or stable, I thought, like, I'm like, none of these are like giving me the ooh sensation. You know what I mean? Strength worked for me. So be intentional with your words. Also speak in the present tense. That's like a simple manifesting trick. Like, you don't go, I want to have this. No, I have my dream job. I am successful. I am stable. It's always present. You already have it. Talk about it like you already have it. Ooh, another really effective thing, which starts out maybe hard, but can actually become like just very easy, because now my brain is just wired and it's not perfectly done, but like to have gratitude every morning. So like when you're laying in bed, instead of like immediately reaching for your phone, try to just tell yourself, today's gonna be a great day. Or like, I'm so grateful the sun's shining right now. Or like find one positive, like let your first thought in the morning be a positive thought. That is super effective. And not always easy to do, but when you start to like rewire your brain like that, you can. Like it took a while. Like I would literally wake up and be like, wait, okay, before I get to bed, think of something positive, and I would lay there and be like, okay, today is gonna be an awesome day. And then I would get out of bed, or like then I'd grab for my phone. And it took some time to like wake up and be rolling around to be like, oh wait, we're supposed to think of something positive. Now it's a lot easier, and I just wake up and I remember to tell myself, today's gonna be a great day. Today's a new day. Today's gonna be a great day. If the morning one's hard, do it at night. Like, I'm gonna go to sleep, tomorrow's gonna be a great day. You just try to like filter in positivity at all times. That's what we want. You know, I love the concept of like a skin sack or a floating rock. Super powerful. Again, makes you small, makes you insignificant. That's super effective, because it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like one of those things. It's like, you know, when you're talking to someone else and they're like, oh, like my coworker probably hates me because XYZ, and you're like, I doubt they're noticing that. Like, that's a you problem, right? Like, you're projecting that insecurity and like putting it on them after reading into something. But at the end of the day, it's like the you problem is you gotta address why you're insecure about that thing, for example. So knowing you're on a floating rock, it's like, yeah, it's not that big. It's not that crazy. People have gone through it before. Everyone's gone through everything before, you know? Everyone's doing their best, and no one is more important than anyone else, because at the end of the day, we're all on this like floating rock, and we all have different little skin sacks that we're like lucky enough to be put into, some luckier than others, and blah, 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 and we all move forward, right? At the end of the day, we're on a floating rock. Who cares what someone thinks about you? You know, who cares about other people's timelines? Like, we're all on a floating rock. It's all so silly. Ooh, you can also light a candle. Lighting a candle is always nice. You know, you make a birthday wish and it feels nice. You can do that any day you want. Or you could just light a candle and be like, I'm lighting this candle and it's gonna warm up my space with good vibes only. Put a little intention into the candle. Putting intention to a physical thing, I'm telling you, is very nice. So okay, enough on that. Life update wise, I'm posting all the wedding photos right now. Hope you guys are liking that wedding content. Hoping no one is like looking at the wedding content and going, I'm bored, or I'm over this. All she does is talk about her wedding. No. I said it'd be a week. We're doing wedding week, and it will be a week, and it will be done. And then I will do the normal thing and post on my anniversary, and that's it. And maybe show the photos once in a while. Okay, maybe. But not in like a, look at me, my wedding was the best thing ever, because we all know the truth. It has been nice looking back at the photos though, because I actually said to Zach this morning, like, looking at the photos, like, again, your perception of things, it's so funny. It's like, looking back at it, I'm like, wow, we did a really good job. That was a beautiful wedding. And Zach's like, yeah, it was a gorgeous wedding. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I couldn't, like, put two and two together on that. I was just so stressed about having to do it. It's nice to have the photos to be like, wow, we did that. It was a really beautiful day, by the way. Like, I'm really happy too with the photos to see that state of being that I was in on that day, because that was not the state of being before the wedding, and that was not the state of being after the wedding. But to see that state of being like pure bliss and happy, I'm like, that's really nice. I'm really glad about that. So that's been really cool. And I think TikTok might be getting banned. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do. Leave a rating and review for the podcast. I'd really appreciate it. I still haven't figured out how to go see them. I'm gonna do that right now after I hang up. I'm gonna go figure out how to look at the rating reviews in case someone requested an episode. You know what I mean? But I really love you, rats. Really appreciate you. I hope you're doing good. Let's close out these dingy ass chapters and let's move on to brighter things. The sun is shining. Summer is coming. Okay? Ice cream, good food, beaches, friends, nice coffees, iced coffees. It's time. Okay? It's time. Oh, here's a toxic one. Self-tanner. Or a hair chop. Or how did I not talk about that? How did I not talk about that? Hair chop, I literally did this to signify like finding my higher self, like trying to really like vibe with the person that I am. Like let's get a look that really looks like us. And I think I was successful. It felt good. So I'm pro hair chop, pro hair dye, pro get a tattoo. You might regret it. Oh well. You know, that's the toxic side of these things. But anyways, rats, that's the end of the podcast. Fuck, I always say it wrong. Rats, that's the end of the episode. Podcast is not over. We're always gonna be hanging out. Okay. Rats, it's the end of the episode.